episode of I Ain't Want Nothing Really podcast. I do apologize for the delay here. For the past few days, I've been contemplating how should I do this. Should I do it once a week when I get around to it? Um, Also, I've really been enjoying the feedback on my first episode. I know that I was kind of nervous. Y'all could clearly see the or you could hear. So using that same podcast termination, but you could hear the clicking from my mechanical pencil. Like when you're in the office and you click, 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 click because you're just thinking hard or you're nervous about something. So that's what it was. First episode when you hear it. But my opinion, the first episode went okay. I need to do some improvements. I need to stop sounding like I'm nervous. I mean, I was because it was 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody was kind of asleep in my house, and I didn't want to wake nobody, and it kind of looked weird. It's like I'm not on the phone, but I'm talking, and excuse me, I got a little sore throat, so but seem in and out, forgive me. Um, some things I want to change also is, the nervousness and the background noise. I promise I won't have any pens or pencils in my hand, or maybe not tap the floor as much, or you know, not have dead air between segments probably. But I really did enjoy it. I hope to just keep pushing forward to it. I hope my podcast can reach out to a lot of people. Some opinions you may not agree with, some you may. But hey, we're Americans, we're humans, and we are entitled to our own opinion. But also, here in America, if you're not in America, I live in America, we just got off a very, very historical election. Now, I know in my last podcast, I talked about the importance of voting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you vote, you get good results. Congratulations, Mr. Joe Biden and Miss Kamala Harris. Madam Vice President, is the first Black American Vice President in United States history. And also, congratulations, Joe, who was once our Vice President, now our real President. And today is Wednesday, and Joe actually won Saturday. And Election Day was the Tuesday before. So it's safe to say that the whole election was 4 days. Whereas, from what I remember growing up from Bush and Obama, maybe Clinton, I was very, very young. They did their one and done, 1 day. That's it. You'll get the results by 10, 11 o'clock at night. But this one was a trip because, it took them days. I remember it was election night, Tuesday night. I'm up all night. I'm watching CNN. It's kind of nerve wracking, you know. Not only did I watch CNN, I was watching on YouTube this map, interactive map, and it wasn't. What I learned was those maps are not very accurate because they'll go back and forth every 5 minutes. But I understand why, because they were counting the votes, and I watched Texas go from Democratic to Republican, back to Democratic. It was just so nerve-wracking. But I watched that. I watched CNN. Before I knew it, it was midnight. Time to go to bed. Woke up the next morning, turned on CNN. No counts. No, well, counting. They were still counting, but no official winner. All right. Watch CNN all day. I watched that little interactive map. Go to bed that night. Wake up the next morning. By then it's Thursday. No winner. I'm okay. Man, what's going on? So, watch CNN all day. Watch the interactive map. And I go to sleep Friday night. Thursday night, Friday morning. Still no winner. So then, I do the same thing Friday, go to sleep. Saturday morning, something in my spirit told me to wake up early. And I did. I turned on CNN. No winner projected yet. So I had to go like open up my laptop, do a little shopping, around, text a couple people. And on my phone I have TMZ. I have TMZ, I have Mail, I have Apple News, I have all that. I'm typing on my computer. I look down at my computer and it says Joe Biden wins presidential, presidential title, whatever. Well, yeah, right. It's TMZ, dude. Like, TMZ mess up sometimes. So then, I double check. Like, someone told me to go back and double check. And when they said Joe Biden is to win presidency projected by CNN, I immediately went to, I turned my TV on, turned on CNN, and there it was. Joe Biden has won to be the president, the 46th president of the United States of America. And I'm very happy. I still feel like I'm on a high because I watch Joe Biden on TV. I've been watching Joe Biden on TV. He's been having like press conferences and even from his like acceptance speeches. Joe Biden is really a stand-up person, and I am glad I voted for him. I do see a great presidency out of Mr. Biden. He has a great life. I look forward to seeing what she's going to contribute to the country because everyone knows first ladies, they contribute something. Michelle Obama, she did the reduction of childhood obesity. One of the ones from the 80s, they did like the anti-drug, and Laura Bush did childhood literacy, and Melania, she claimed cyberbullying, but I think that was just real quiet. That's been real quiet. I ain't heard nothing about no cyberbullying, nothing, because we have the block button. That's what's the block button. Okay, but I'm very happy. And Jill Biden, I want to talk about Jill Biden. Doctor, let's not do that. Dr. Jill Biden, she's educated in, I think she has her doctorate in education, and I hope that, she does something for the education field, whereas if it's pushing student loan relief, maybe give an extra push to education, maybe going on campaigns, explain how important it is. Anything like that, I do look forward to it. I do look forward to also seeing who's going to be in his administration. She's very sharp, so I'm sure he's going to have some sharp people in his corner and help us get America back to where it needs to be. And I say that, what I mean is that America will not be the laughing stock. America will be back to being the top-notch greatest country in the world. I mean, to me, we are still the greatest country, but with our leaders, it's like sometimes we get laughed at because of who's in office. Trump, he gotta go. He's really gotta go, and he's right now. It's been almost like a week since everything has wrapped up, and Trump is still like having a fit. He's not, he's just sitting on TV saying, "Oh, I won." It's like, clearly, dude, the electoral votes was about 273 to 114, 113. And let me state the obvious here. The 213 that Trump had, that stayed there for days. I don't remember it hiking up. No, doop, 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 doop. It went up every once in a while. Pre- President-elect Biden, his was just shooting up, shooting up, shooting up. So safe to say that, Mr. Biden, he won fair and square. And you're acting like the one guy who loses to 2K and demands to just restart.
Hey, it's Amanda from the I Ain't Want Nothing Really podcast, and I'm here to tell you about Anchor. No worries, you don't have to pay for it, it's free. There's a creation tools that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer, and your podcast will be distributed to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. And it's everything you need in a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
You know, he's out here acting like that one guy who thinks the Xbox and PlayStation is cheating, and he wants to switch players, and I don't want to play with Braun, I want to play with Jordan, I want to play Iverson, I want to do this, blah blah blah. But safe to say that Mr. President-elect Biden, he won fair and square, and the number of votes he made history with, 74 million, which was the last number I saw now. I understand they might be still counting. Nevada came in here strolling late. They're probably still counting votes from Georgia, I think. I can't don't quote me on it, but I know they're still probably doing recounts and stuff. But Joe made progress or history by having the most popular votes, which is amazing. Congratulations to him. And again, this is why we vote. Put change in the office. So obviously, the next time you come across a person that says, "No, I'm not voting. My vote doesn't count." You got to show them this historical event. And we did it. We did the thing. I honestly just cannot wait until Trump leaves the office, because 70 million people voted for him. And I don't know how, I don't know why, how? A couple months ago, maybe last month, maybe a few weeks ago, they had their last presidential debate. And this man went on national TV and called immigrants coyotes. To me, which was not cool. And in the context of how he used that word, he was trying to say that immigrants are going to come and just, mess everything up. That's not true. What they do is they come to America to live a better life. They provide a better life for their children and opportunities for their children to grow up, go to school, go to a good university, and just have the career they want to have. They're not here to hurt us. They're here they work just like us. They take care of their families just like we do. They're no different to me. But 70 million people, and some of them I hear are Latinos, which kind of bothers me. How can you vote for somebody that went on national TV, international TV at that, and disrespected your race? How? I also want to know, as an African American woman, how do people African American descent, go vote for this man? And he's clearly disrespected us too. I'm not understanding. And Again, I have my theories of how Trump won the first time. People were going in there voting for him as a joke. Well, that's not funny. I know that the people who voted for him as a joke sat through these last 4 years like, dang, I should have not done that. There's consequences and repercussions when you do stupid things. And to vote in America is free. And you had an opportunity. You didn't pay anything when you stepped in that voting booth and you took it as a joke. That's not cool. I hope whoever you are who did that, this election, that you stepped in and you told yourself this is not a joke anymore. And you made that right decision to vote for anybody else. I mean, I can't tell you who to vote for. I mean, I can't. Well, I can, but I can't. I can say that, look at the world. Look how some policies are messed up, some policies have been reversed, some things are up in the air, but you might have a different belief. You might not be you might not be a Republican. You might not be a Democrat. You might be independent. You might be Green Party. I don't know. So you might vote for them. But the goal now is to get everything back in order. And, I also heard that Trump wants to run again in 2024. I don't think that's possible because, he's a little too old. But I can't really sit there and sound like a contradictory because, Biden, I know, is like 78. He's almost 80. At the same time, I know he is very well equipped for the job. Whereas with Trump, he needs to go and find him some business in Mar-a-Lago. Maybe, try to get back into business. If he can't get his businesses back, well. It's bad enough his wife's going to leave him. And I'm happy that, making history. I'm happy that my generation took this seriously. I remember my friends calling each other on the phone, hey, are you voting? Are you voting? Come on, we gotta vote. We gotta vote. Get this together. We gotta vote. It was very important to us. And of course we showed out. And here we are. Still celebrating. I know a lot of the big cities, they have celebrations. I wanted to go to a celebration in my hometown of Chicago. Everybody gathered in front of the Trump Towers. And, well, not we, because I wasn't there. Danced and played music, just honked our horns all up and down Michigan Avenue. It was just a beautiful thing to see. And it was crazy because some of the businesses, they were preparing for riots. And I'm very glad that no riots came out or nothing happened, just maybe a lot of upset people. But overall, it was good. It was good. But there is some sad news that I do have to share with you all if you're not aware. I want to send my condolences to the friends and family of the rapper King Von, who is very well known here in Chicago, where I live. Another rapper taken by gun violence. Now, I am not very familiar with his music. If you know me, I'm like more of a West Coast, old school. I don't, judge anybody. I don't really turn my nose up to any of the newer school music. But I don't really listen to his music, but I've heard his name a couple times. I've seen his face. But this is starting to bother me um, with the gun violence and our young men. And as a black woman, I feel like I should use my platform to really talk about it and just express how sad I get or how worried I get. This man, King Von, was 26. He was a year older than me, and he had two little babies. And it just it makes me sad because those babies, they're not gonna have their dad. And why does this country have such a major gun problem? For the life of me, it, I don't understand any administration why we're not, you know, maybe I'm not educated enough. Maybe someone needs to explain this to me. Why is the administrations in the White House, why are we not doing anything? You know, why is it so easy to obtain a gun? I, it's just, oh, I just, it, I, I just want an answer for that. Um, we lost Nipsey, we've lost Tupac, we've lost Biggie, just so many bright, talented people to gun violence. And I just want to know, like, I really honestly don't know a lot about the story. What I know is that this young man, he's in Atlanta. I'm not sure if he lived there or if he was just down there. And he was shot and it was captured, which also disturbs me. It really disturbs me that that was caught on camera. And now we live in a generation where, everything is on tape, everything is saved. You know, anybody in the future in his camp can see that. And that's just, that really breaks my heart and scares me at the same time. So I'm I don't want to really get too deep into this because I'll start crying. Because again, this is another young person gone due to senseless gun violence, and may he rest in peace. And God keep his family covered by the blood of Jesus. And I'll just leave that there. Another story that really popped up and kind of answered a question I had, a random question I had. The Kardashians and Larsa Pippen. Now, if you guys don't know who Larsa Pippen is, she was married to NBA great Scottie Pippen since 1997. I think they very recently got a divorce. But why did Larsa Pippen and the Kardashians fall out? Sometimes when you're like me and you don't have nothing going on, and you just sit in the house all day and you just wonder, hmm. And one of those situations or questions was, why do I not see Larsa Pippen hanging around the Kardashians anymore? Well, my question was answered, and if it was your question, it's answered. Basically, she went on an interview and she said that Kanye West brainwashed the Kardashians against her. Weird, right? Weird, but not really weird because these things do happen. But Uh, the reason why I'm so stumped on words is because it's Kanye. It's the Kardashians. And I'm not surprised. Nothing the Kardashians do anymore surprises me. I used to be a very big Kardashian fan. I used to watch every episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I remember when they didn't have kids to when they started having kids to when one got married and then that other one got to, I felt like I was a part of the family, watching all this stuff go down. I remember when they had the one-story house with the Range Rover, and the girls were little, and Kris Jenner was married to Bruce Jenner, and just all this stuff. But then the more money started coming in, things started to go up for them. That one-story house turned into that mansion, two mansions, and then Kim buys a mansion, and Courtney buys a mansion. Just as the show progressed, I started to honestly see how out of touch this family has become. And it's weird. And I noticed the friend circle that they had. I remember Kim hanging out with Sierra. Don't you wonder if they still talk? I remember Kim hanging out with Serena Williams. I don't know if they still talk. But then, this with Larsa Pippen. It's kind of, yeah, wow. And Kanye, I feel like there's more to the story, and she's just putting the blame on Kanye, but at the same time, with Kanye's antics, I'm not surprised. Safe to say, I also feel worried for Kanye, and it's not the whole get out situation. It's just, you know, Kanye is obviously going off his rails. And this family clearly sees that. And, Kim, I don't live in the house. So I can't sit here and say, well, Kim is just out here letting that man go off the rails. She probably is, but at the same time, maybe she's at home begging him to take his meds. I don't know. But I'm just like everybody else at this point. Can this family just go away? But, they can't really go away because, they're so successful and then they're getting ready to get rid of their TV show. But they make more money with their businesses and stuff. Kim's got the underwear and the makeup and all this other stuff. And then the sisters, they model and all that stuff. But I feel like this story can go so many ways. Maybe, Larsa is lying, or, maybe Kanye is really off the rails, or, ugh, I lost my train of thought on that one. But we are at my last segment. Hopefully, this will help anybody who is stuck, who is in the house, still quarantined, still unemployed, probably work from home and just log off for the day, and you don't know what to watch on Netflix, or you don't have cable, or you got cable, you don't want to watch cable. Um, for the past few days since my last podcast, I've been watching a lot of great documentaries. I'm a documentary buff, um, and that stuff started since I was in college. Um, and I have a few Netflix picks for you if you're curious. The first documentary I watched was the Studio 54 documentary. Now, I was born in the 90s, and our clubs were raves and all that stuff. And Studio 54 was like this 70s cocaine, dancing club. Michael Jackson used to frequent there a lot, so you could check that one out. It's about an hour and a half long, a lot of history. Um, Great faces you'll see in there, great history, facts you'll learn. Another one is my next guest with David Letterman, one of my favorite shows. And I did enjoy the one with Dave Chappelle, who is an amazing comedian. We love him so much in my home. We watched all his stand-up specials numerous times on repeat. And also, Clive Davis, the soundtrack to our lives. Now, Clive Davis, some of you all may be young, be like, who the heck is Clive Davis? And some of us may be older and be like, Clive Davis. Clive Davis is the man that discovered Whitney Houston. And Whitney had a tremendous career under Clive, of course. A lot of great albums, a lot of great songs. So if you want to learn about that man, he is amazing. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I know I'm hopefully getting better with finding things to talk about. It is my second episode. So if I'm not doing this good, I don't have hour episodes by my fifth episode, so y'all can just feel free to slap me. But also, I do want to plug one more thing before I go. I did release another book, A.J. Townsend 102. You can find that on Amazon. It is about $5.99 to $7.99 for a paperback, and a little bit cheaper for a Kindle if you don't like physical copies. You can also find my other books on Amazon.com. Meet Angela Volume 1. Meet Angela Volume 2. You can find A.J. Townsend 101 in my bio on Instagram. You can contact me on Instagram at instagram.com/a-marie son of Tom, and that's spelled A-D as in Diana, A-S-H-S-O-N-O-F-T-H-O-M. And also, you can reach me on Twitter. Let me know how you feel about the podcast. Let me know if you listen to it. And my Twitter handle is at A-Marie Son OT, and I'll spell that one for you, is A-D as in Diana, A-S-H-M as in Mary, A-R-I-E-S-O-N-O-T as in Tommy. I thank you so much for listening again, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Hopefully I will not be as late, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.